Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. In this particular video, we're going to do something that very few people do. Now, I never did this because I was never even aware of it. I wasn't into networking and things of that nature. But this is going to help you out tremendously. We're going to actually program our router from the inside, and we're going to have to be connected to the internet in order to do this. So right now I've got my router connected to my modem via the WAN port. This is the only time we're ever going to use that WAN port. Everything else is done through the LAN ports. And we're going to go up there and we're going to configure this router to where it only accepts the wireless devices that we want it to. And even that's a little misleading. We're actually going to set the priorities. What wireless device is going to have the priorities to my router that I'm going to use with my mixer? So I came up here, I used the link system router. It's all the same for the link systems. We're simply going to use the first two here for the instructions. Simply come over here and I'm going to right mouse click this and say open link in a new tab. And when I click on it here, I'm going to enter in the password that came with the router. Now, you've got to be careful here. You have a password stamped on the bottom of your router, but sometimes when you go to sign in, the password it's looking for is simply admin. So if you haven't changed your password yet, it's simply admin, all lowercase. So at this point, we're going to sign in, and that is my router on mine. At this point, we're going to go to the guest access and we're going to turn it off. Now, your router, depending on the make and model, is going to have something very similar to this. And if you follow these directions, you should be able to set yours up, and it's going to literally set you up for success when you're out here using these wireless systems. Now, if you're sitting inside your church and you've got 50 people in there, and they all come in, whether you hide your network name or not, every single smart device within the proximity of that router is going to ping it. You can't stop it. It's impossible. If you hear anything different, it's a myth. So we're going to say, okay. And then we're going to come over here to media prioritization. And that's where we're going to see prioritize. I've got it on. I've got my X32 rack, I've got my laptop, and I've got my iPad. And at this time, guys, I'd like to point out that you need to be connected to the rack and have your iPad signed on and have your, anything that you want that router to see connected, you want to have up and running so that when you log on, that router, whatever you've previously named those devices, are going to show up. And that's how you can go in and set your priorities. Okay? So these are the first three wireless devices that my router is going to give priority to. So once we set our priority, then we can say, okay. So how did my router know that my mixer has already been used with it? Well, guys, I'm doing this video. I did this when I first realized that this could be done. And that's why these settings are like they are. At this point, we're going to come to the Wi-Fi settings. That is the name, the Wi-Fi name on this 2.4 gig band. We're going to turn it off. We don't need it. We don't want it. This is going to interfere with some of the other systems that use the 2.4 band. Okay, this could be stomp pedals. This could be guitar stuff. This could be other stuff that's still in that range. So we're simply going to turn it off. Broadcast the SSID, we're going to say no. And down here for the 5 gig, we're going to pretty well leave it like it is, except we're going to turn this to no as well. So what does the broadcast SSID mean? If you've ever noticed when you go to hook up your computer or you're looking for a tap point for Wi-Fi, you'll see all these names come up. If you're at your house, you may see your neighbor's Wi-Fi come up. And that's what that SSID is. Now, we're not going to broadcast that name, but that does not stop your router from being pinged from every single smart device within its range. All this does is simply it doesn't broadcast the name of your router. And you have to have the name of the router in order to connect to the Wi-Fi. So what you're doing is just kind of telling these other devices, hey, don't come look here. Now here you can also change the name of your Wi-Fi, and we're going to say, okay, disabling ban will disable the guest access. And we know this, and we don't care. Do you want to continue? Yes, because we're not using the guest access anyway. Okay? And that's it, guys. We have now, as you can see, it's going through the process. It's going to reprogram my router to be used with my mixer, my laptop, as well as my iPad, and my fallback from that would be my iPhone. Okay? That's all there is to it. Take care, God bless, and we are out of here.